Hi, I'm Shannon Cobb. I am a physical therapist with Dedicated Therapy in Greenville, South Carolina, and I'm going to teach you a CoreHab class. We're going to do this as a modification for folks who have difficulty or don't like getting down to the floor. So we're going to be doing most of the class in standing. We'll do part of it in sitting. So if you have a chair that's relatively firm, it's better if it doesn't have arms on it, but you can make it work. If it does have arms, and what we're going to be working on in this exercise class are the muscles of our trunk that help support our spine. So this class is great for folks who may be experiencing back pain. We're going to be focusing on the muscles that support your spine. And so then it's also great for folks who may not be experiencing back pain and want to try to avoid that. These exercises can help strengthen and support your spine. What we're going to be working on are the muscles of your abdominals. So that's the front and the sides. They wrap around to your spinal extensor muscles in the back. Again, going to be doing most of these exercises in standing. And I will show you here to start with 3 different positions that you can use during the class. And then you can utilize whichever position is most comfortable for you. During the class, I'll also demonstrate in those different postures, just so you can get an idea of what it might look like with a modification. If you have an exercise, a resistance band of light to moderate weight, you might want to grab that. I'm going to show you some exercises where you could use the band, but if you don't have one, I'm going to show you the same exercise without using the band for that resistance, okay? So what we're going to do is look at engaging our abdominal muscles. So you can think about a point at the bottom of your breastbone or your sternum, and then right in the middle of your zipper. When you engage your abdominal muscles, you try to bring those 2 points closer together. I tend to be a person who stands with a lot of arch in their back, so I can also think about trying to round my back out. So as I round my back out, those 2 points come closer together. So sometimes it's nice in the beginning that you could kind of practice arching your back and rounding out and bringing those together. Now that's the most contracted I can get standing here. And we're not going to get into that most contracted position, but I am going to engage my abdominals a little bit in that way while we're working on these exercises. I'm also going to think about keeping my chest up nice and tall, like there's a string pulling up from the top of my head, okay? A few things we're going to do. So we're going to be using the wall for these exercises. And there are a few different positions that you can use. So you can have your hands on the wall, and that's the way we'll start out. I'll show you those, but that may not be comfortable for your wrist. What you can do is also try to look at turning your hands in a way that would make it comfortable. Doesn't really matter. So we're just trying to find a way that you can have your hands against the wall to make them comfortable. A different position, you could have your hands in fists flat against the wall. That way your wrist doesn't have to bend as much. You could, if you want to, get a little bit of padding underneath there if you'd like. The final position you could use is bringing your forearms against the wall. And then you could keep fists, or you could lay your hands up against the wall. So again, I've got my body at a bit of an incline, so that's going to have me work a little bit against gravity and be able to engage my abdominal muscles. All right. So the first exercise we're going to do is what we're going to call a plank. Okay. So I'm going to show you arms up against the wall. I'm going to take my feet away. I'm going to do that little bit of rounding in my back. So you can see, if you watch, that little bit of rounding. I'm going to hold there and think about a string coming up through the top of my head. And I'm just going to hold this plank. So this is an opportunity for you to decide what position you'd like your hands in, or if you'd like to change the position and rest in another position. We're going to hold for another 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now we're going to maintain this plank position. Again, if forearms worked for you, you can stay there. I'm going to demonstrate hands up. So we're in this plank. Also, if your ankles are a little bit stiff, my toes are pointed right at the wall, you might need to turn your toes out a little bit. Again, you get to experiment and try to figure out a way that you can do this comfortably. So now what we're going to do, again, the emphasis here to help engage the muscles that support our spine and keep them engaged, I'm going to round that back out. I'm going to hold tight, and I'm going to think about everything being nice and still with the exception of my arm. And I'm just going to take this arm, pick it up off the wall, and lower it down. And I'm going to alternate. So I'm staying nice and still everywhere. I'm not sagging, okay? I'm nice like a straight line. We're going to alternate and hold. That's 2. We're doing 10, 3, 4. Again, I'm thinking about holding nice and tight in through my abs, not letting my back sag. This is 6, 7, and again, based on your shoulders, just a little lift. Taking your arm off the wall is all you need to do. That's 8. See, I can even pull back like this. Still keeping nice and still everywhere else. That's 9. Good. That's 10. Very nice. Okay, what I'm going to do now, same exercise in our plank. I'll demonstrate this one using my forearms. Again, I'm going to step my feet back. If my heels want to come off the ground here, then I might want to turn my feet out a little bit, but I'm still going to stay nice and tight in my abdominal muscles. And I'm going to alternately raise my legs. Again, I'm going to think about being nice and still everywhere else. I'm going to shift my weight off of one leg and raise it up. It's not going to be big. And then we'll alternate. So I got to shift my weight away and lift up. When I lift this leg, I'm going to think about from my shoulders to my bottom being nice and still. This is 2. 3. And again, the leg lift isn't going to be large. That's 4. 5. That's 6. Trying to be nice and still, just shifting my weight. 7. 8. That's 9. That's 10. Good. So I'm going to come off of there, shake my arms out just a little bit. All right, this third exercise in the plank is going to be the most difficult. So you can go at your pace. I'm doing 10 repetitions. You don't have to. Do as many as you can, but being in control and really focusing on engaging your abdominal muscles. So what we're going to do is we're going to add those last 2 together. So I'm going to lift an arm and a leg at the same time and try to be nice and still everywhere else while I do that. So I'm going to engage those abdominals, think about staying nice and still in my middle, lifting and lowering. So alternate arm, alternate leg. And again, you can move your arm and leg as much as you're comfortable with. That's 4. But I'm trying to keep that rounded back, keep my abdominals nice and engaged. That's 5. But I'm going to move slowly and in control. 6. Again, you can take a break if you need to and come back and join us. You could just hold the plank or go back to only arms or only legs. This is 8. 9. That's 10. Good. We're going to walk our feet forward and come away from the wall. For the next round, I'm going to show you a variation where you could use that exercise band. So I have a little knot tied at the end of each, so I can sort of keep a hold of it while I have my hand up against the wall. So the first one we're going to be moving our arm away from our body, okay? Out in this direction while we hold that plank. So again, I could do it with my arms up against the wall, I'm going to bring myself into a line from the top of my head down to my heels. And I'm going to bring my arm out and in, out and in. Just holding nice and steady against the wall. Being still everywhere, really trying to keep those abdominals engaged, a little bit of rounding in that back, and being still. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, without the band, you still can do the same movement, just taking your arm away from the wall and coming in, okay? So if I switch and go the other direction, again, I'm gonna hold here. I can take this one out, but I'm gonna show you, and again, we're gonna move away. I'm gonna show you just with my arm though, so I don't need the band. I'm gonna reach my arm out. I'm gonna be still, engage those abdominals. Be nice and still everywhere. I'm gonna lift this one off and bring it down. And I'm gonna try again to be super still everywhere, but where my arm is moving. And for me, I really have to purposefully focus on keeping my muscles engaged that want to make my back round out a little bit so that I keep my abdominals working. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. Okay. We're working the muscles of your upper back as we start to move through ranges of motion at your shoulder. So those are also postural muscles that help support your spine and good posture. Okay, the next one, we're gonna be in that plank. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn away from the wall and open up towards you. And I'm gonna turn back, okay? So I'm gonna try to stay nice and still and not let myself arch. That's what I just did. So I'm gonna keep my abdominals engaged and I'm gonna rotate out. Only go as far as you're comfortable with, okay? It may just be a little bit. You're gonna be working muscles deep in the shoulder that's supporting you. That's 4. You can turn your foot out a little bit too if you needed to. 5. Keeping those abdominals engaged. 6. 7. I'm nice and still everywhere, just twisting and rotating around the shoulder that's against a wall. 9. 10. Great. Now we're going to just reverse. Now that you kind of got the feel for it. Again, I might take a moment, re-engage my abs. I'm going to take this arm away from the wall and I'm going to turn away from the camera. Again, what I encourage you to do is move at the speed that you are comfortable with to be successful and in control. And that might be slower than me. That's 5. And just do as many as you can in the period of time that we're working. 6. And again, by working and moving our arms in this way, we're hitting the postural muscles that keep us from being more rounded in our back. 2 more. 9. That's 10. Beautiful. Okay, this next one, we're going to do a push-up. So if this is bothering your wrist, remember, you could go knuckles in to the wall and you're just going to bend and then push away. I'm going to stay nice and straight through my body and then push away. You could have my hands. You could turn your hands a little bit and push away. Go as deep as you're comfortable with. That's 4, but I'm not going to let my belly sag into the wall. I'm going to be a straight line, and I might not go with a real big bend in my elbows. That's fine. Just keep those abdominals engaged. That's 5. So I have that little bit of round in my back. 6, 7, and again, whatever your wrists and your arms can do, just do that range. 8, 9, 10. You can come back to these same exercises and try to work on improving the depth of the range of motion that you move through. For the next one, we're going to move our lower body. So again, I'm going to try to be nice and still through everything, including my arms and the leg I'm supporting on. And then we're going to be moving a leg. So what I'm going to be doing is, make sure I don't fall over while I demonstrate it. I'm going to bring my leg up to the side in this direction. So again, if you see it from the side, I kind of have it in line with my body, okay? So we're going to be working our abdominals on the side a little bit more with this movement. So I'm going to come in and I'll show you this variation. And again, you can put your arms, you can decide where it feels good for your elbows to be on the wall. So I'm going to come away and engage those abdominals, try to be nice and still. I'm going to shift that weight, lift that leg up and lower down. We're going to stay on this side and do 10 and then alternate up and lower down. This is a challenge for me. I have to work really hard to not let my back arch out when I do this one. So just so you know, these are challenging movements. So if this one's really hard, you could just start it a little bit if you want to, okay? So try to find a way to just do the parts that you can be successful right now, and then have the goal to build into the full range of motion. That's 7, 8, that's 9, that's 10. Good. We're going to switch to the other side. So I have to take a moment, get my little round in my back, and here we go. Raising that leg out to the side. That's 1. So when we do this, we're working those muscles along the side of our trunk a little bit more, including our hip muscles as well. And again, I have to really sit on myself to not let my back arch. 5 more. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. That is excellent. The last one we're going to do, we're going to be up against one arm. So I'm going to put one arm against the wall. You could be out, at a fully extended. This one's called side plank. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to hold this position without letting our hips drop to the wall. So I'm going to keep my chest up and engage those abdominals. Really think about keeping my hip away from that wall. I'm going to hold here. And again, you can work on finding a place that's comfortable for your arm to be. We're going to keep holding, lifting there. Good. Another 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. You can step your legs in, bring that arm down, give it a little shake if you need it. This is good work on our shoulder, those deep shoulder rotator cuff muscles as well. So we're going to do that side plank. I'm going to be with my back to you. So again, I'm going to put my arm, we'll do this one as an extended plank. So I'm going to bring myself so my feet are farther from the wall than my shoulders, which gives a tendency for me to want to drop in. So I'm going to engage. I'm not going to let my back arch. I'm going to keep it nice rounded position and keep my hip from dropping in. And I'm just going to hold like this. Really thinking about keeping this pulled away. 10 more seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. So we're going to step this foot in. Very good. All right, so we have finished the part of this workout that is really focusing on engaging and strengthening those core muscles that we talk about. The muscles of our abdominals and our back extensors are what we focused on most today because we were in a standing posture, and sometimes it's a little bit more difficult to engage the additional muscles that are considered part of our core, which is our pelvic floor. So that is touched on a little bit more in the exercises that are done in lying, because it's a little easier to find a way to engage those muscles and learn how to do that. So I encourage you, if you are able to get to the floor, to check out those videos. What we're going to do right now is just a little bit of stretching so we can elongate and stretch out some of these muscles that we've used. And we're going to do that in sitting. So we're going to find that chair. What I want you to be sure of when you sit down is that you are more towards the front of the chair. It's going to allow you some mobility. All right. I think I'll keep my chair turned to the side a little bit. So we're going to start with just some shoulder rolls. I want you to take your shoulders up, take them back and down. Up, back, and down. One more time. Up, back, and down. Good. Next, we're going to take this hand and we're going to reach underneath the chair, face forward. I'm going to stay nice and tall, and I'm just going to tip my head away. So you should feel a gentle stretch along the top part of your shoulder, maybe into your neck, just gentle. We're going to hold there, take a nice deep breath in and out. I'm going to tip my head up. I'm going to switch. Take that opposite hand. I'm going to reach under the chair. This helps keep our shoulder down so we can just gently tip our head away to make a gentle stretch of our upper trapezius muscle. And hold. And take a nice deep breath in and out. Good. For the next one, I'm going to turn just a little bit so you can see. I'm going to have you reach back to wherever you are comfortable. You could reach to the seat of the chair. You could reach to the back of the chair. Okay. And what I want you to do is lift tall, and if you can, squeeze your shoulder blades together a little. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Good. Next, we're going to stretch a little bit through our legs. So we're going to reach a leg out. I'm going to keep a little bit of a bend in my knee. I'm going to stay tall. Very important for this that you stay tall. I don't want you to round out. 2 reasons. First of all, you're going to get the stretch that we're looking for by maintaining yourself nice and straight and only bending at your hip. And if you're one of my participants who has osteoporosis, we really want to avoid a lot of flexion, right? That's not great for your spine. It puts pressures on your spinal bones that we don't want you to have. We want you to try to minimize that. So you're going to practice staying nice and tall, and you're going to lean forward so you feel a gentle pull down the back of your legs, or the leg that's stretched out. What I tell people is you want to make like you're trying to look over the seat in front of you, like if you were at a movie theater or something, so that you stay nice and tall. We're going to take a nice deep breath in through our nose and out through our mouth. I'm going to lean my shoulders back, and then we'll switch. Same idea. I'm going to sit tall. I'm going to lean forward, see if I can read what the person in front of me is reading. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in through my nose and out through my mouth. Good. Take my shoulders back. All right. Next, I'm going to take a leg out to the side, and I'm just going to lean toward it. I'm just tipping over to get a gentle pull on my inner thigh. I'm going to hold here, take a deep breath in through my nose and out through my mouth. I'm going to come back up straight, fold that leg in, and I'll reach the other one out to the side. And again, if you have to reposition on your chair, go ahead and do it. I had to make that little adjustment. And now I'm going to tip toward that. I'm not going to come forward. I'm staying in line with my hips and just tipping over. Like, remember the song? Like a little teapot. You should feel a gentle pull on my inner thigh. I'm going to take a deep breath in through my nose, out through my mouth. Bring my shoulders back up, fold that leg in. Now, I'm going to come around to the side of my chair. So if you have an arm on your chair, this is one you won't be able to do with us today. So you want to be sitting side saddle on your chair, and you're going to let your bottom hang off just a little bit. I'm going to hold on to the back of my chair This front leg, I'm gonna reach it back behind me. So you wanna find how much is comfortable for you to reach back behind. I feel good here. You may feel good here. That's fine. So we're gonna sit tall, take a breath in and out. If you were able to reach back, I want you to bring your knee so it's right below your pocket, and you're gonna lean back a little bit. If you feel a nice stretch along the front of your thigh, take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Going to bring our shoulders forward, bring that foot forward, sit back on our chair, and we're going to walk our legs all the way around. We're going to repeat this on the other side. So generally I'll slide back a little bit and then over to let my bottom hang off the edge. I'm going to hold onto the back so I feel comfortable. This front leg, I'm going to start to reach it back behind me as best I can. I'm going to sit up nice and tall. Take a deep breath in through my nose, out through my mouth. I'm going to drop this knee so it's right below my pocket. I'm going to lean back, getting a stretch down my thigh a little more. Take a breath in through my nose and out through my mouth. My shoulders will come back forward. I'm going to bring this leg up. I'm going to scoot back on my chair, and then I'm going to turn. One last stretch for the deep muscles in our thigh. I'm going to take my leg and rest it up on top. If you are not able to do this, you have an option. You can kind of reach a leg forward and try to cross it low, okay? So once we get it crossed wherever we're comfortable, we're going to think about sitting tall. And if you can, lean forward. So you're going to feel that deep down in your hip and into your bottom. And that's the muscles that we're working on stretching with this position. I'm going to take a deep breath in through my nose and out through my mouth. I'm going to lean my shoulders back and uncross my legs. So now you're going to cross the other one. I'm going to show you from the side. So I cross my leg. Ooh, I'm pretty tight in this hip. And my knee stays up kind of high. That's okay. So now I'm going to sit tall. I'm feeling it there. I'm not going to have to lean forward much. And then I just lean forward, and it changes the location a little bit. That's fine. I'm just going to hold, take a deep breath in through my nose and out through my mouth. I'm going to uncross those legs. And now we're just going to take 3 final breaths, and you will have made it through our CoreHab class with modifications for standing. Let's place our hands at our side, palms facing forward. I'm going to take a deep breath in as I reach up and breathe out as I take them down. 2 more times. Breathing in and out. Good. And breathing in and out. Thank you so much for joining us and checking out all of the exercise videos that we're providing for you this month through the Arthritis Foundation.
Thank you so much for joining us in our CoreHab program today. We hope you had a great workout. We hope you're going to join us next week as we provide a new program called YogaHab. YogaHab is an adapted yoga program that is designed and led by physical therapists. So you're going to learn how to manage joint pain by strengthening and dynamic stretching and breathing strategies in this YogaHab class. It's a nice, refreshing, active movement class that I know you'll enjoy. So we thank you again for coming to our class today, and we hope to see you again in our next week's YogaHab program.